What's up? What's up, everybody? MrSmith here with Zephix TV, and that was a really weird intro. But today I'm going to teach you some more about blacklight receivers, and it's going to be the bolt action rifle because everybody loves to snipe. But anyways, the first thing you're going to want to do is realize that some people like to make it lowest spread, and they're wrong essentially because there's no ADS spread. Unless you're going to run around no scoping, which I don't recommend anyway. You just need to go for the highest damage build you can get. And you're going to need level 22 before you can do this because of the barrel. There's two muzzles you can get. I prefer this one because I just ended up buying it perm first, I suppose. But you could also use this one, the Vulcan R19 Rift. It lowers the spread a bit more than the other one, the hip spread, but I'm not really much for hip spread when I'm using a bolt action. So this one is the one I'll go with. Plus, at level 22 you can have the entire build. And then the barrel you're going to want to do is the level 22 barrel, the Crane GX3 Heavy. Of course, it's going to increase your hip spread, but your ADS spread will always stay 0.00. There, your 200 damage, you could essentially use that sniper now. But let's look at the magazines. You can get a quick mag, which makes you reload faster, but the bolt speed doesn't change, so it's not really a big of a deal with me. I can hide when I run out. You can use extended mags, which is the same reload speed, but you get 8 instead of 5, which some people might like, but most people I see running around with sniper rifles use incendiary ammo, but I prefer the regular ammo because just the regular old mag here, because I like to deal all my damage up front. Just deal the 200 damage up front. If I don't hit them in the head and they have more than 200 health, then, oh well, I'll shoot them again. Which, I have a damage node that's 3%, so I ended up doing like 206 damage with this for the bolt action. So damage nodes can get you above the 200 damage limit that the gun says it has, but damage nodes can make you do more. I don't think the weapon tag does, so you can go for an accuracy weapon tag if it's really what you want, or a reload speed one would probably be actually the one I would use, but The big deal with incendiary is it does an extra 10% damage, so you can essentially do 220 overall damage. But the major setback with this is everyone uses health injectors like we talked about in the equipment. So if someone's using a health injector and they have, 200 health, they can heal before the fire will kill them completely, since it only deals 70% of the damage up front. So that's why I prefer just using the 200 damage, because if I hit somebody with them, I can make a second shot really, really quickly. And that's why I would just either pick extended, well, not that, extended, and just, or a quick mag. Extended, the quick mag, which will make it reload faster, or this one, which I end up just usually using this one. Now there's a couple of scope choices that depend on what map you're playing on, honestly. You can go with any of these like short range scopes if you really want, but I mean, if you're going to be running gun sniper, then that's probably what you'd need to do, is just pick something like this, maybe, or probably something more like this. But as far as the snipers goes, this is the scope I prefer the most. It's got a nice red crosshair in it. Go back to scope. It's got a nice red crosshair in it, and you can pretty much just put the crosshair on them, and they're done. This, like the bolt action and the combat rifle both, which will be the next video, pretty much have instantaneous ADS spread. Like, it's just perfection. You can jump snipe people in this game with this and everything. I don't know if they're ever going to change that, but as of this video, you can jump snipe people, and your bullet always goes right where your crosshair is pointing. So you put the crosshair on their head, they're dead every time. If you want something with a little more zoom, though, there's the very last scope here. It goes from 4.4 to 6 zoom, and this is for maps like containment and stuff like that with really, really long lines of sight. I haven't bought it yet. I just usually use, if I'm sniping, the 4.4 one. But this is also a very valid option to it too. It's just a 6 zoom scope that works pretty well. But for this purpose, let's just go ahead and go to the stock. My favorite stock choice from the last gun, the regular assault rifle, is going to be this one. Brings a little bit of everything down here. Let's go back to stocks. Okay, so the Torex ACP Mod 0. I use this on all my guns, so this is probably going to be, a featured item in a lot of stuff. There's actually going to be quite a few featured items that I use a lot on most builds. But this one, you lower your hip spread, you lower your recoil back down to 500. But some people also use this one too, and it brings your hip spread down a lot. It increases your range a little bit. It makes your scoping time a little faster, but your bolt action, unless you're running and gunning, none of that really matters. The range the range isn't even enough to make a difference anyway. If you want more range, you lose some damage and get some more range. But it's not worth it. Like, you can pretty much shoot like 156 meters. I think that's supposed to be meters. It's pretty much across any map. I haven't had anybody take less than 200 damage with this. But I guess for the heck of it, I'll show a low spread build. Just so, if you really want to run around and be a douche, I suppose. Let's see here. What would be the lowest spread? Lowest spread muzzle. I think it would be this one. This one here. Yeah, I'll purchase this just to get a feel of it. The QDSS9 is always the lowest spread. And then you're going to want this barrel. The leather neck. Which, that's a pretty high level barrel. But that's the lowest spread you can get for the bolt action on the barrels anyway. The scope. If I was going to do the scope on this and I was going to be running around quite fondly, I'd probably use the CX9 Hollow. And then, let's see here. This lowers your recoil more. And, we'll see. I guess you could use this one if you're going for the lowest spread possible. The Vulcan ACP3 Collapsible, which is what most people use anyways. I just prefer the Torex, so I'm going to keep it on there. And then the weapon tag, you would definitely want to go for, I'm just going to slap the E3 promotional one on here. The Goat Fortune Cat. Boop! And then there's your quite useless 168 damage sniper. But, for purpose's sake here, this is what you want. This, the Crane or the Vulcan, the Crane SPR1 or the Vulcan Rift. This used to be the best barrel you could use. You want the Crane GX3 Heavy. Just the regular old thing there. Depending on the map, you want this scope or this scope, the 6-zoom one. Either one of those two are fine. They pretty much work exactly the same, except this scope has a little yellow inside of it, and it drives me insane. It makes the whole map yellow. Makes me a tad nuts. And then just the good old Torex ACP Mod 0 is always my choice. And, damage nodes if you have it. If you really want to run around and you don't think people are using health kits, health injects, you can run Incendiary and go to 220 damage, which I wouldn't recommend personally. Like, Incendiary is more of a novelty for me. It's kind of fun to make noobs mad, but other than that, it's not really that useful. Not dealing all your damage up front gets me killed more times than not. But, yeah, hope you all enjoyed. This has been Mr. Smith here with Zephix TV, and peace out, everybody.